Welcome to Pride Against Prejudice, a Shadowrun 4th edition actual play podcast.
Hi, I'm Simon and I'm playing Huggy Bear.
Hi, I'm Al and I'll be playing Maverick.
Hi, I'm Jack and I play Toyga.
Hi, I'm Michael and I'll be playing Sunshine.
And my name is Rhydian, I am the GM. If you would like any bonus content, a link to our living campaign map can be found in the show notes, along with a link to our Discord where you can get occasional bonus episodes, and if you'd like to add locations to the map or just ask us questions, you're welcome to join us there. If you stick about for a few seconds at the end of the episode, we also have a question for you as well. The following content may contain themes and materials not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Before we dive into the episode, here's some pay data on another one of the Shadowrun podcasts out there for you to listen to.
Yo Shadowpunks, here's a Shadow fact for you.
Berlin. It's a bug, not a feature. Not a feature.
We are a German actual play Shadowrun podcast.
Hoi Oma, willkommen in Berlin, willkommen im Status F. Ein Shadowrun 6 Actual Play Podcast.
Yeah, that's right. A fucking German actual play. Our podcast is edited fast-paced, we get super high production value, and the sound design is top-notch. In our AP, we focus on character development and immersive storytelling. Oh, come on, ChatGPT, that is so fucking generic. Absolutely bullshit, nothing saying. You need to highlight the things that set us apart from other actual plays. Like, that we are very, very focused on the rules. Because we play in Germany, and in Germany you play by the rules. Also, fun fact, we only use military march music for the score. Yeah, okay, that's a total lie. But anyhow, slot your Saxonian lingo soft and give us a listen everywhere where you find podcasts. And now back to the show.
After some downtime, the team need to get the Nuyen coming in again. But, Lukas, Dean, you really want us to steal this from them? Yeah, it's the evening of the 4th at the moment. How much more downtime were people wanting to take?
I would like to go and see Marty at some point. You know, just go to the gym, do a couple of sets.
So yeah, you head over to Marty's gym. It's much the same as ever. Hazel, she actually just gives you a nod this time as you come in. There's no nasty look or anything. She's just gives you a nod of, seen you before, nod. Mav, are you at the gym at the time, or are you off elsewhere?
Have I finished my training?
I can't remember. Did we say that you
had... I've done the raise, but I don't know what calendar day I finish on.
Let's say you finished it earlier in the day on the 4th, so we're on the 5th.
I am not in the gym. To hell with this place.
Are you just lying on your sofa with a beer going, yes, laziness.
A large beer, a tray of fast food, and 90% out of it in some sense watching, I don't know, some Drek on Trids.
Yeah, fair. We'll come back to this later then. What are you doing when you get to the gym there, Huggy?
I'll probably have messaged Marty to say that, you know, I'd like to come along. You know, it's been a little while. Want to get, you know, back into a bit of fitness again. I've been sitting around a bit more than I'd like. So I want him to sort of give me some ideas as to what I need to, you know, some stuff to work on.
Yeah, sure. So he texts you back, basically just says, yeah, sure thing. And when you arrive at the gym, he's spotting for... It's an orc who's got 2 obvious cyber arms, and he's lying on the bench lifting, and Marty's actually kneeling down next to him. There's a panel open on the cyber arm, and he's got a pair of screwdrivers, and he seems to be adjusting the settings.
Yeah, that's fair. In that case, I'll find a free treadmill probably and just get a little, start doing a bit of a warm-up.
All right, cool.
Change into my gear, obviously, first.
So after a while, Marty finishes up with the other guy and comes over to where you are on the treadmill. He watches for a few moments. After a little while, he just says to you,
You could probably put the speed up just a little bit more. You're probably just slightly too far into your comfort zone. Don't go mental with it, but if you just put it up a little bit, it'll push you that touch further, and you'll actually see some results out of it.
Right, I nod. At this point, I'm probably breathing a bit too heavily to, have a conversation. Take his advice on that.
Yeah. So he just kind of hangs out with you for a bit, giving you encouragement, and when you look like you're flagging, he's kind of going,
No, you can do another mile on it. Come on, I know you can. You know you can as well.
Stuff like that. He's just gone into trainer mode at the moment.
Yes, that's fair. So once I'm done my set on the treadmills, I'll, sort of mention that, I really want to work on my strength and stamina with lifting, carrying, that sort of, I want to be able to build some, not just in terms of endurance running, but endurance carrying.
Right, so you're looking more at weights with cardio than just straight up weights, is that right?
Yeah, I feel that, I don't need the glamour muscles, I don't need the, I can lift up big heavy thing once.
No, you're wanting working woman's muscles, you're not wanting show muscles. I hear you. Are you wanting arm work or core work, principally?
I think core work, primarily, to begin with, certainly. I can start working on arms. You know better than I do, but to my brain, I can work on work on cores, and I have more strengths to anchor the arm work with.
Yeah, so I know nothing about this, so
Me neither.
He recommends some stuff, I don't know, running in a weighted vest and doing sit-ups in it or something. I'm probably going to get screamed at now of, oh god, you'll tear muscles doing that, but like I say, I know fuck all about it.
Some very good weightlifting advice.
Yes, he gives the advice that I can't. So yeah, he also, after a while, it's very professional for the most part, and eventually he sort of says to you,
Look, Huggy, I've got to ask, when we went out, things didn't exactly go...
Oh god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was a mess. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. I thought it was something I'd done. Look.
No, that was me being an idiot and also in a pretty bad place at the time. But that's, you know what it's like when you're in not the right headspace, and then you start drinking, and then
Well, I tell you what.
Wrong, and then
I tell you what, Huggy. I think I tried to go about it the wrong way. Like, you know how it is. You're meant to ask a lady out. You're meant to go for a nice meal and stuff like that. But I don't think that was very us.
I mean, that's probably right. I'm not exactly what one would call a lady.
Well, I tell you what. She won't mind this. Hazel's got a fight in a couple of weeks' time.
Hazel?
Do you want to go watch Hazel beat the ever-loving dreck out of somebody and then go get pissed afterwards?
That sounds like an amazing night. Yeah, that sounds cool. I haven't been to see fights that's not, live in a very long time.
All right. I mean, she's in the unaugmented league. She doesn't cyber or magic or anything like that, but it's still fun.
Honestly, I think I prefer the unaugmented leagues. The augmented league is just that point of like, okay, so he can punch a truck, and the other guy is a truck, so I guess we get to watch somebody punch a truck. I find the unaugmented, it's much more imaginative. They need a lot more technique.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cyber guys, don't get me wrong, they're damn good at what they do, but the unaugmented fighters, they got to rely on pure skill and what they can get out of their body. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, yeah, I tell you what, I'll text you with some details and we'll sort something out. How's that sound?
That sounds amazing. I was going to say, I was going to try and invite you to something to make up, but I guess you beat me to it.
All right, cool.
So, yeah, you have a fairly pleasant day working out at Marty's gym. Are you working towards spending karma on buffing your strength or something like that, or your body?
I want to try and get body. I have plenty of. Strengths I could probably get a bit more of. What I really want is to try and get towards. I'm not sure what an endurance comes under. I think that comes under body mostly, doesn't it?
So depends on what you're looking at. So endurance we can look at in one of two ways. We can look at it as body, or we can look at it as willpower.
Willpower was more what I was thinking of, because my willpower is terrible.
All right. Hence why you're always getting smashed on Hurlg with Lurtzog.
Yeah.
So you've had some downtime now. You've had a bit of time to relax and recuperate after a run that, went pretty smoothly, actually, all things considered. And then there was the whole deal with Toyga's cousin coming out of the woodwork and dumping a load of dreck in his lap, and Toyga's being Toyga at the moment.
I'm so very calm.
You are so very calm. But it's another day in the shadows of Manhattan, and Mav is idly channel hopping the Trid in his apartment, whilst the walls slowly sweat grease from the Kentucky Fried Soy on the floor below.
Moving house.
It's just the usual corporate-approved junk viewing, a reality show, The Real Housewives of Horizon, a conspiracy theory about that time Aaron the Scribe's manuscript got stolen back in 2050, and the news. Mav settles in to watch it for a while. Sometimes there's something worthwhile between the lines of sound bites, but it's looking like the Pride bombing, as it's become known in the media, and its investigation has finally dropped out of the cycle in favour of, well, there was the bombing against the MCT docks, or the road underneath it, which was one of the main roads running through Brooklyn. Then the Brooklyn Bridge got blown up by some fraggers, and there's been a spate of bombings against fertility clinics. Just as the pundits are starting to talk about how metahuman groups are attacking facilities intended to improve the lives of those living in metahuman populated areas, Mouse Comlink chirps with a text message.
Who is texting me? What are they saying?
So, when you bring it up in AR, it's refreshingly to the point. Job: meet tomorrow at 0030. Location: the Midnight Vineyard. Booking is us under Mr. Johnson. Leave the hardware at home. Dress smart. Lucas.
The Midnight Orchard.
What the frag is the Midnight Orchard?
Data search.
First of all, I forwarded this message to the team. I then immediately followed it up with, what the frag is the Midnight Orchard?
What's a flag is a midnight orchard?
Roll me a data search.
Sunshine, do the thing.
Doing it. I get 3 hits.
So the Midnight Orchard is an Italian restaurant in Seagate, Brooklyn. It's fancy, but not crazy fancy, and the food is meant to be really, really good. The other major selling point is the views across the entrance to the Hudson.
But not of the Brooklyn Bridge.
No, it's well away from the Brooklyn Bridge.
We've been doing a lot of dressing smart for runs recently.
Oh crap, that's an A-class area.
It's only one A class.
You've got a meeting with him at midnight next day. What are you doing in the meantime, if anything?
He said not to bring the hardware.
Ugh, he's no fun.
I feel kind of naked turning up without at least one drone.
Well, I'm not going to take the hardware into the restaurant. We can have it in the van.
That's true.
Some of it, at least. We are going to an A area.
You could always get yourself an emote toy if you feel lonely.
I could. That's definitely a possible thing that could happen.
I could give you a spirit to play with.
That's something I would be more comfortable with.
Really? You're more comfortable with a being from outside of reality than a little robot that sits on your shoulder?
You clearly haven't seen what Lurtzog does with the motor toys, have you?
No, I haven't, and I am thankful.
It's the one that was designed to look like that really old computer game from the dark age of computing that said, "Oh no," and held its hands against its head before exploding, but he'd replace the head with a hand grenade.
Yeah, that one was weird.
And he'd get it to walk up to gangers and just go, "Oh no!"
Yeah, that one was just deeply unpleasant.
Meanwhile, I've got this going on, and you get like a picture in the group chat, and it's like, do we all know what a bush baby is?
Yes.
Vaguely.
It's a bush baby in a little cloak with like a dustpan and brush that is like cleaning up Uyghur's countertop.
Oh,
That seems abusive.
In what way?
I mean, you should probably clean your own countertop.
Yes, but I can either clean my own countertop or I can pay this thing with grapes. And then there's like another video of like Uyghur handing out a grape.
Okay, I mean, if you're paying it, I suppose that makes it a little better.
And then the next picture is like its chest has opened up and like these many thorned tentacles have lashed out to grab the grape.
That's adorable.
That stopped being adorable.
but keep it away from me, please.
So you're putting on your fancy duds and heading over there?
Yep.
Yeah,
Cool. I know that Sunshine's got a suit from that time that you had to go to a club to meet a person about a thing.
Yep.
We all have suits from that time.
Oh, yes, I'm thinking of a different club where you had to meet a person about a thing.
We've met several people in several clubs about several
Out of
things.
thing, yeah.
including one time when we met people in a jazz bar.
That was a blues club.
That was a blues club, you're right. But we had to get jackets for that.
Yeah. I was thinking of the time before that, but you are absolutely right. Yeah, when you turn up, it seems the restaurants and the buildings around here, they're all sort of single-story buildings. It's quite open. There's a lot of greenery. Oh, that parking charge. And you make your way to the restaurant, and as you arrive, the maitre d' looks you over and says, "Do you have a booking?"
Have we been given...
We were.
No, but I mean, have you been given somebody to ask for? Oh, Mr. Johnson.
Yes. We're meeting Mr. Johnson.
It's always Mr. Johnson.
There is the barest hint of a raised eyebrow. And he gestures with and says, "If you'll follow me, ladies and gentlemen," and leads you through to a side room, which it's kind of semicircular and has an amazing view across the bay. And Lucas and Dean are already in there. They seem to have already made a start on a bottle of wine, and there's several empty glasses as well as theirs. They nod at you and say, "Pleasure to see you again. Could we have 2 more bottles of the same, please?" to the maitre d', who gives that very professional nod of the head and closes the door behind you. Have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. How have you been?
Not bad, not bad. This place is fancy.
Yeah, the wine's good.
Did we miss someone? There's empty glasses.
No, they're for you. We knew you'd be
Oh.
here.
Right. Sorry. I've not been sleeping.
That's all right. That's all right. Take a seat. We'll have a good meal, and then we'll talk business.
I'm going to roll wine tasting. Sunshine, you should do the same.
Yes, I should.
Why does half this party have wine tasting as a skill?
Because we're posh. I got 1 hit.
You're posh, Sunshine isn't.
I got 1 hit.
It's red, strong, and it's from the shear.
This has been burnt in the bottle at some point.
You can tell it's bloody good, but beyond that, yeah. It's mostly seafood on the menu, and there is absolutely nothing made of soy except the refried soybeans that are meant to be that way.
Aki will actually have to take a little while looking at the menu because he's like, I don't know.
Toiger, you're posh. You know what these words is. What the fuck's an oregano?
That is the most horrible thing anyone has ever said to me. It's a plant.
Sunshine
but-
is pronounced oregano.
No, it's pronounced oregano. And occasionally...
Tiger, we're all Americans here except Huggy.
Look, I'm not sure. Like, my English isn't the best, and I'm not sure this is English. So,
You're right, this bit's French.
Yeah, about half the menu's in French. Oh no, it would be Italian. It's an Italian restaurant.
yeah.
The wine lists are in French.
It's
though,
the
for...
French restaurant now.
Right. I guess I'll have the Huggy points at a menu item. Is that one?
Well, you just ordered the octopus. Congratulations.
Ooh, steak. I'll have the 70Z petite. That sounds fancy.
Yeah, you get your fancy people meals made of actual fancy people animal, and it's bloody good, really good.
Even in the sixth world, I object to the characterization cow is a fancy people animal. Eating it fancy.
It's an animal. It's fancy. It's not made of soy or mycoprotein.
Moo.
Moo to you too, motherfucker.
Does that make krill protein bars fancy?
No, they can be mass produced easily.
So more expensive than soy, so yeah, kinda.
So technically what I'm eating is krill, in the sense that both krill and tiger prawns are both crustaceans. Difference is that this is actually good. This is so good. I haven't eaten this good in so long.
Krill's a crustacean?
Yes.
I thought it came
It's
as
not.
a slab.
No, it's an animal. It's like a little swimming
What?
animal. They produce some of the loudest noises in the animal kingdom, Sunshine.
No, they're not. It's a plant, like soybeans.
Krill is tiny shrimps. You are all Philistines, except Tiger this time.
Lucas and Dee sharing a look in the background.
It's not my fault. I'm from Denver. Of course I'm uncultured.
You're a work in progress. Burger turns to Lucas and Dean. Please tell us who you have summoned here to murder.
Well, we've not actually summoned you here to murder anybody.
It doesn't seem like your style.
Not really. It's not usually necessary. You'll probably be well aware that the investigation into the metahuman pride bombing has stalled. We suspect it might be getting buried. We've been trying to get some information through legitimate means, but have so far been unsuccessful or stonewalled, and therefore need to try alternative methods, like you.
That's why we're here.
Before I get into this, I know what we're asking. The UCAS FBI have been leading the investigation, but we're not going to try put you up against them. That would be suicide. It'd be stupid. But there might be a slightly softer target than them that we can get information about the investigation from. We need to know who's been put in charge of the investigation and the status of it. Any information you can get. We need you to steal it from the NYPD Inc. instead.
Right.
Null Sheen, we'll just march into their Doom Fortress and just
Hear me out.
deck into their node and take it, shall we?
I did say I knew what we were asking here. So, the 49th Precinct is being used as a liaison office between the NYPD Inc. and the UCAS FBI in the Bronx. What we need you to do, break in there and steal the data from a secure terminal. We looked at going in as a matrix run. No, it's a no-go. But a resourceful group like you might be able to bypass all of that by going to the physical source of the information. We can do you 10 grand each to do this. There is a bonus of 5k if you can avoid detection and do it quietly.
Meaning they didn't know we were there at all, or they didn't know we were there?
Meaning that they don't know that the data is gone. If you can get in and out quietly without anybody realizing that something's up and that somebody who shouldn't have that data has that data, we can do you a little bit extra.
Right.
That's a big job, but you're offering fairly big money.
Yeah. I mean, as I say, we're not going to give you chump change for this.
Guys, team huddle. Give us a couple of minutes, guys.
Yeah, sure. They tell you what. They pick up their wine glasses, and there's like a balcony area, and they open the sliding door and say, "Just knock on the window when you'd like us to come back in."
Thanks. Okay. So, I get that this is for a good cause.
It is.
And the money isn't terrible.
It could be better.
It could be better, right? I was thinking that as well. Do we really want to be going and, trying to break into the...
Inc.
Yeah, the bragging volcano fortress lair of the man?
I mean, Sunshine, Huggy, do us a quick grid guide. Where is 49th Precinct?
That'll be a browse.
Yeah, just give me a quick browse roll.
4 hits.
So it is in Morris Park, which is in the Bronx, so northern part of New York, near the Bronx Zoo.
It's right on the border of an A-rated area, but it is in an E-rated area. Does Grid Guide have a convenient picture?
By which do you mean the GM has one? No.
You don't have to. I just want a description of this place. Is it the Halls of Justice, or is it...
It's, looking at it on Grid Guide, it's a relatively small building. It's not like a high-rise. It's 2 stories, moderately large, but it's not a massive precinct. You can see that there's quite a few cars outside, but it's not a Judge Dredd Doom Fortress.
The Halls of Justice.
Yeah, no, they keep those on Manhattan.
In terms of floor area, it's probably about half as big again as the community centre that you knocked over.
It doesn't look that much more secure than the 106.
We didn't break into the 106, though.
No, we didn't. But we didn't have any problems when we nicked one of the transfer prisoners.
106th?
First job Huggy and I did together.
Okay. This is before I joined the team?
Yeah. This was before the bombing.
Right, okay, yeah, that was... I was probably still in a shipping crate.
Why were you in a shipping crate?
Long story. Short answer, dragon.
I'm
I
not
won't ask any further questions.
any more questions.
It was a very strange week.
You said the D word. We don't want any more information.
You broke the cardinal rule, or someone did.
I didn't. She did.
Well, now you're in New York.
Quick
Yep.
question. What are Luna's redeeming qualities? She must have some. And don't say E-cups.
She's not an E-cup. Tiger!
I presume they inflated. Because like everything else on her, they're made out of rubber.
Tiger!
And you
Why
sat
are you
me
being
down
so-
to give me a talk.
I
Right.
know how breasts work.
Do
No,
you,
you
though?
don't.
Anyway, I have a question.
What's your question, Tiger?
Why is this shitty little bungalow in the middle of nowhere the main liaison point for the UCAS FBI and NYPD Inc.?
Because they don't want the crime solved.
Fair enough.
They gave it to an arse end of nowhere station where nobody does any good work.
Also, I mean, I suspect that in official terms, it's set up as like, well, this is the least likely place for anyone to look.
100 miles away from where the crime was actually
But
committed.
actually, Actually, it's probably so that it never gets picked up ever again.
They'll have shoved their least favourite officers from each of the two services in a broom closet and told them to sit there for 3 weeks until the media hubbub dies down, and then they'll be reassigned.
There's a tapping on the window, and the door opens, and Lucas leans in and says, "Sorry to interrupt. I realise you're probably not done, but would you be kind enough to pass me the bottle of wine?"
Yeah, no problem. I just pass him the entire bottle.
He takes it and gives you the nod and shuts the door, and he and his brother refill their glasses and carry on.
So, while that's going on, so the sun will have gone down. I'm just going to say that Toyga resummoned it. The little bush baby spirit from earlier hops up onto the table and picks up the bottle of wine and goes up to Mav to offer to pour him some more.
Toyger...
It doesn't say anything, it just stares at you with its massive eyes.
Yes, please.
Pour.
B... Toyger, are you sure showing off your mage in public is the wisest of things to do?
Oh, this isn't me, this is all him. I just told him to, stay in my coat and keep an eye out for trouble. I think he likes having things to do.
So,
are
we taking the job or not? I vote yes.
I vote yes.
I vote yes.
Yes,
but we ask for more money.
More money,
I mean,
yeah.
We always ask for more money.
I mean, they gave us a flat fee. They must be expecting us to negotiate upwards.
Hey, Huggy, one of the main streets that leads up to this precinct is called Rhinelander Avenue. And there's also the Rhinelander Halls of Residence nearby.
Oh, yes, it is. Expect to find shitty assholes there. Fucking Rhinelanders.
Is that the wrong kind of German?
Apparently.
Rhinelanders are basically French.
Ah, a cardinal sin.
What, do they glow in the dark?
I mean, these days, probably yes. You've seen what's happened to the Rhineland?
No, I saw what happened in the SOX. You know, the big old nuclear exclusion zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I know about France.
The SOX is along the French-German border.
Yeah, isn't that where Hirschfing crashed?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yep.
And the Rhine is the French-German border, so yes, the Rhineland is probably glowing at this point. But yeah, the Rhinelanders are an interesting lot. Hate the Germans for not Germaning hard enough, hate the French for being French, even though they're basically French themselves. They're the worst.
I will take your word for it.
I mean, my surname's French and I can't be having with them, so...
No one can be having with the French, not even the French.
Especially not the French.
Alright, so are you done? You ready to ask Lucas and Dean back in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Alright, so when you ask Lucas and Dean back in, they sort of wave to them. They come back in, sit down with their glass of wine each, say, "So, you taking it, or are we going to have to find someone else?"
They're taking it.
With one condition. This job, if this goes wrong, we paint a giant NYPD target on our backs.
Right.
Extra risk, extra reward. You know how this goes.
Alright then, roll negotiation.
Yeah.
Can I help negotiation?
What are you saying to help with the negotiations?
Ultimately, whatever additional charges you incur by hiring us, they'll ultimately still be less than finding another team with our same composition of skills and abilities. Whatever we charge you will be less than the hassle you incur by doing it the other way.
Alright, roll your assist. How many hits? And let me know how many hits you get.
I get 3 hits.
Cool, you get 3 extra dice there, Sunshine.
Cool. I'm gonna just go ahead and pre-edge this.
That's fine. You are a face. This is your job.
And I get 4 hits.
Awesome. Give me a moment.
That was not a particularly good roll. There's
No,
not a
that's-
single 6 in there. Ugh.
Garbage. Also, yeah, you got 4 hits on 15 dice. That's slightly below average.
The dice just hate you. So you get 1 net hit. He thinks for a few moments and says, we can chuck an additional 500 in there for you, but look, we weren't stiffing you on price. We were pretty much doing what we can already. We do understand this is dangerous. We understand what we're asking, hence we're not offering you chump change.
I get that. We're not trying to screw you guys either, but
I know. Like,
you know how it is.
The work you've already done for us is pretty good. It's done a lot of good for a lot of people. And I know that doesn't pay the bills, but you were our first choice for this.
Sunshine nods.
I'm honored, but I do also have bills to pay.
He laughs and holds up a glass of wine to that.
Bills to pay, cousins to rescue, ravenous mouths to feed, and then at this point he feeds a cork to the little bush baby thing. And again, like, chest opens, tentacles come out, it eats the cork.
Dean takes one look at it and goes, gee, that's not right.
Don't be mean, he's very sensitive.
I'll take your word for it. Fragging mages, man. So yeah, are you heading off, or are you sticking around to chat with Dean and Lucas for a bit?
Have we had our dessert?
I'm just going to say yes, and it was amazing.
Excellent.
Priorities.
We need to know everything that we can about this precinct. And we need to know exactly what information we're looking for.
So, we're just needing the investigation into the bombing, but the main thing, we need to know the status of the investigation, like how much resources they've been putting towards it, that sort of thing. Also, who's in charge of it, because they've been weirdly tight-lipped about it. I mean, Freedom of Information Act does not exist in the Sixth World, so they're not going to be able to get that out the authorities if the authorities don't want to give it.
But still, it's certainly like American cop standard seems to be if there's a major event, they have some officer standing up front on the podium saying, I am leading the investigation and we will be sure to get to the heart of this terrible disaster.
It seems to have been on the Trid, it seems to have been a revolving door.
It's pretty much to be expected.
Any recognizable faces in that revolving door, or is it all whoever showed up last to...
I think it was pretty much whomever they could shove out on stage.
Whoever puts their hand up last when they said who's out.
Yeah.
Whoever showed up to work least hungover.
It's that episode of... which cartoon is it? It's one of the Hanna-Barbera ones. With the Mountie. Where everyone else, like, steps back. Rather than someone stepping forward.
I vaguely know the one you mean, but I couldn't tell you the name of it.
Anyway, we need to get there, get inside get inside subtly, get the information, find out where the information is being held, get the information, ideally copying it, and then get out.
Yep. Easy, it'll take us 5 minutes. No problem. Mav has an expression that does not suggest no problem.
Don't suppose we could pass as janitors?
Dean and Lucas at this point stand up and say, as you appear to be getting into the details of the task, we will leave you in peace to continue your planning. And they stand up and walk out. Lucas looks over at his shoulder as they leave and says, the room's booked until 3 a.m, so use it for as long as you need.
I think we probably don't continue our discussion here.
This place is posh enough. There's a white noise generator on this table, right?
Oh, it's standard. And there's like Wi-Fi inhibiting paper in the wallpaper, and
This is probably more secure than anywhere else we will go today.
yeah, it's not like got magical wards up, because that Drek's fragging expensive, but it's not bad.
I got do a quick astral survey, see if we're not being watched.
Roger, roger. Do I just roll perception?
Yes.
No hits.
What?
And they're all 3s, weirdly.
Yeah, 3s and 2s, very strange. The astral here is incredibly dull. It's exactly what you would expect in a schmancy restaurant.
Dear God, it doesn't look like any of the servers have souls.
Oh, they do. They've just been crushed beneath the corporate boot.
This is why we don't get jobs in customer service, children.
Twitch is an old job.
Which is in my job.
You know, there's a reason why I chose running the shadows rather than working in Stuffer Shack. One of those reasons is I don't have a legal sin, but also customer service. Not even once.
Do you more harm than heroin?
I may be reformed posh, but I'm still posh enough to recognise that customer service is beneath me.
Customer service is beneath the devil rats in the sewers, the way they get treated.
Yeah, no. Have you ever had to sit there and watch your mum scream at a service worker and start beating them with a table leg and recognise that that person can't do anything about it purely because the woman doing it to him is rich?
No.
No.
He lost an eye.
Jesus.
Drag me.
Your family gets worse every time you bring them up.
How do you recognise how awful?
I think we recognized that quite a while ago.
Do you now get how awful Cornville has to be that I consider it worse than at home with my parents? Or any member of my family?
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Cornville, has Toyga been doing anything in the intervening time? Other than wearing a hole in the carpet?
I'm planning on... So, you know how Hannah left me a number? It's like, call me when the job is done. I'm planning on giving like phoning that, giving a cryptic answer, and then when she shows up at like the arranged meeting place saying, look, you do not get to dump this on me, then fuck off and pretend like it didn't happen. You are going to help me, whether you like it or not. You spooky little witch.
We'll see how that goes for you. In the meantime...
We have another run to plan.
We do. And I think our first step is probably taking a day trip to...
Hang on, guys.
Oh.
I do have a contact who might be able to help us out here.
Oh.
Oh, do tell.
So, remember I used to have that cafe job?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are sorry you lost that, by the way.
I'm not. You know what you were saying about customer service? Yeah. Still not the worst thing I've done for money. Anyway, yeah, look, there was a cop used to come in all the time, guy Karl Pinkney. Don't know him that well, but like, let me put it this way, he's been on the beat long enough that, you know, he's a dirty cop.
Right.
There are clean cops.
Yeah, they're the very poor ones.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just literally dirty. Actually, no, the poor ones are the worst. Because they're the ones that are like beating up homeless people for the change in their pockets.
Whereas the dirty ones are the ones that don't need to beat up homeless people, they have people for that.
yeah, look, he's
What
not
kind of dirty cop is he?
small-time beat cop. He'll take any bribe to look the other way. Look, he's got... I reckon we can buy some info off him as long as, you know, as long as it's not traceable back to him, and as long as we're not putting any other cops at risk, then I reckon for the right price, he can probably get us something. You know, he's been in the force long enough, he knows a guy who knows a guy.
I mean, if nothing else, we can bribe him.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to have to pay him. He's not going to do this for free.
If he can get us a plan of the building.
All we're looking for is the name of who's running the investigation, really, if he has that.
Can I roll a knowledge skill to see what I know about how this would normally be done?
Yeah, sure.
What is with our dice rolls today? 1 hit.
1 hit on 7 dice. Ouch.
We're being dipped by these dice today.
You are a bit. So what sort of information are you looking for from your role here? Give me an idea.
How major incident investigation is normally organized? Who would know about how it's organized in specific?
So something like this that is big.
Major incident.
It's going to be a lot of liaison work between the local law enforcement and here in the UCAS FBI, though on Manhattan, it's probably a case of there's been some sort of political pressure to bring them in, or they wanted some of their expertise, or something like that. Because the UCAS FBI don't technically have jurisdiction on the island of Manhattan. It's probably a corporate thing where none of the corps could agree on someone, so they went with the FBI, something like that.
At the very least, this guy can probably get us a map of the building. Because a map of the building is something that anybody who works in the building needs to have.
Where does this friend of yours work, Sunshine? Is he, in fact, in 49th Precinct?
Probably not, because he used to come to the cafe I worked at, which is...
It was in Brooklyn, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really doubt.
But he will probably know someone who's worked in the 49th Precinct.
Yeah.
You'll know a guy who knows a guy, hopefully, surely.
But every step down that list we take makes the bribe we need to pay bigger, and at some point it stops being worth it.
He totally works at the 99th Precinct. 99!
99!
Why aren't you people having fun? I specifically requested it.
I'll tell you a secret. I mastered all the moves. The double hoop, the scorpion, all of it. Why are you telling me this? Because no one will ever believe you.
Putting aside that rabbit hole. So yeah, are you giving him a ring, Sunshine?
I'll send him a text message.
What are you texting him?
I mean, is this still 3 in the morning? Or 2 in the morning?
It's stupid o'clock at night, but hey, he's a cop.
Yeah.
Wake him up from beating his wife.
Oofed.
Last I checked, he was divorced. Yeah, I'll drop a text going, "Hey Karl, don't know if you're up or not. Not super urgent, but remember me, Sunshine? I was waitress at... Did we ever give that cafe a name?
No.
Someone give me a name of a slightly arsey, pretentious coffee shop.
Jamala's Brews.
Oh, that hurts my soul.
As well it should.
Hey, yes, Sunshine from... Used to work at Jamela's Brews. He had a flat white extra sweet. Anyway,
Oh, don't tell me. He's one of those people that if he wasn't wanting sugar would always go, "Oh, I'm sweet enough," and you're just there shuddering inside.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, and you're privately thinking you're anything but, pal.
Yeah. The guy's a dirty divorced cop in his 40s, with a receding hairline. Yeah, he fits the stereotype.
His hairline isn't receding, it's fallen into a disorganized retreat. It's being righted.
Yeah. I swear that's probably half the reason he joined the police, so he could wear a hat at work. Anyway, yeah, look, Karl, just needing to know a few things. Thought you might be able to help me out. Just get back to me when you can.
Are you folks doing anything else in the meantime, or are you just heading off for the time being?
Shall we take a quick drive past?
We are quite far away.
Yeah, that's the other side of New York.
True, we are at the other end of the city.
And the traffic is hell right now.
The traffic is always hell.
Yeah, but there hasn't normally just been a bridge blown up.
That's not going to be better tomorrow, though.
Mav does have a point. There's less traffic at stupid o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but we can do this at stupid o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
Do we have a time scale for this?
We were not given a timescale for this job.
I will mention that now. He's given you a week.
A week. Right. We should probably get on with it.
Yeah, in that case.
I mean, faggot, I'm awake. Besides, I've just had a really nice tiny espresso.
Yeah, Zephyr. You know me. I normally drink caffeinated stuff by the bucket. That was a very pleasant amount of coffee.
It went really well with my tiramisus, both of them.
You know that bit in Red Dwarf where they give Crichton Android alcohol?
Yeah.
You drank it and it was like that, just going, oh my god, I'm awake.
Alright. How are we getting up there? Are we taking the van?
I'll be taking the van, certainly.
Everyone in the mystery machine?
Please tell me the van's name is not the Mystery Machine.
It is now.
This van already has a name.
Everyone ride on Grendel's mum.
Oh my.
Everybody gets inside Grendel's mother.
That's worse.
Don't worry, there's lots of space.
So the drive over there is... it's New York traffic, even at 3 a.m. It's bad, but it's not as bad. You manage to make your way up across Brooklyn and through part of Queens and into the Bronx. And yeah, you do a little drive-by of the place.
Daka. No, not that, sorry.
Driving past the place, yep, it's an NYPD precinct, and yep, it's crawling with cops, as much as you thought it would be.
How much is crawling?
At this time of night, not too bad. There's some cars out front parked up. There's one of them's just sort of pulling it in. There's lights on. You can see that there's people in there, but it's not absolutely heaving. Yep. Lucas, Dean, you two just take us to the best places, don't you?
Is that... I'm looking across into the parking lot of the precinct going, yeah, wow, that... They've actually still got an old mob master in there. Good God. Like, they really still got those things in service?
You'd be surprised. A lot of these smaller places don't have the money to replace their old equipment.
Yeah, evidently.
Yep, that is a fairly significant looking fence round the front.
Yeah, there's a fence, the outer fence. It's not electrified, but it's got monofilament on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's about what I would expect. Any less than that, and you expect the building behind it to be a burned out ruin. Just enough to keep the local gangers... gives them enough pause as they don't just roll the place.
I mean, it is Morris Park.
This place is a complete dump, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's not quite urban hellhole. Maybe urban purgatory.
Yes, but we're close enough to Pelham Gardens that you probably have a few... a little bit of money going into this place, but... really, the Bronx and Pelham Parkway, that is a hard border, basically, at this point, probably.
Yeah, that highway had better have a fucking wall along it to keep the trash from Morris Park out of Allerton and Pelham Gardens.
Literal and metaphorical.
They've got a lot of checkpoints at the roads that go under it, stuff like that.
This place is a small, fairly generic-looking police precinct station in the middle of nowhere.
It's not the middle of nowhere. It's still in the New York Metroplex, but it's just not in an important bit of the New York Metroplex.
What's the neighbourhood like? Does it still have that fairly large parking bay to the north?
Almost certainly not.
Is there still a fire department in the next building to the south?
I'll say the fire department is still there. There's still a hospital nearby. The hospital is owned by Evo now. Looking around, they seem to be using this place as like a buffer between the drecky neighborhood you're in now and the posh neighborhoods.
Right.
Is this cop shop basically just where the gate guards go off duty?
I mean, it's not quite Checkpoint Charlie, but they don't want the trash going into those A-rated areas.
So we can expect a lot of fat, lazy cops who spend all day sin scanning and shouting at frog children for wearing hoodies.
I see you've met NYPD Inc.
Yep.
This looks like if we want to do this loud, this looks like it won't be too difficult. The main problem will be, getting in and out before the response comes from up north.
The problem isn't whether or not we can do the job in the moment if we go loud. It's what comes after.
Oh, yes, that was going to be my second point.
And also the fact we don't get paid as much if we go loud.
Hell hath no fury like a vengeful cop.
I mean, if we haven't already pissed off the police quite a bit, then we've been doing something wrong. But let's try and do this as quietly as possible. For both reasons.
Yeah, let's not give the police any personal reason to get involved beyond just their professional necessity.
We either send someone in quiet, or we send something in quiet.
We've still got those little drones. We could go in for an explore.
Tiger, can you go astral and check the place out, see what their magic security's like?
Sure.
Can't imagine it's amazing in a place like this.
Going to do a perception first.
Okay, roll me your perception check.
So Toyga's going to climb onto the roof of the van and then just sort of sit cross-legged and look at and ascend to the police station. So,
I mean, you get some weird looks, but you're not causing a problem, so they leave you alone for the time being.
4 hits. That's a bit better.
The cops look out and see a strange man sat on the roof of a van and go, he's probably been injecting the marijuanas.
Don't mind me, officers. I'm just slightly inebriated from dropping liquefied cocaine onto my eyeballs. That's what poor people do, right?
On your astral perception there, Toyga, you can't see into the building, but there don't seem to be any wards up that you're able to detect or anything like that. You do see a couple of Force 4 fire spirits patrolling around the edge of the building, but they don't look at you particularly. They seem to be there more for like people who are actively dicking around with magic where they shouldn't be. They're not gonna fall on somebody who's magically active, is the impression you're getting.
So there don't seem to be any sort of like magical defenses, but there's a couple of Ifrits kicking about. I don't think they care much that I'm here. I don't want to get any closer, though. I have no clue what I'm doing with fire spirits.
Okay, but they're not totally undefended.
I mean, no, in a word. I mean, they're fire spirits. They're not terribly intelligent, but I still wouldn't want to risk it without serious firepower, if you'll pardon the pun of my own behind me.
Noted. Mav?
I am just, however, looking something up, because we're parked outside this place.
You are indeed.
And depending on how solid the walls of this building are, I might be able to see some of what's going on inside it.
Alright.
Because as is regularly forgotten, I can see through walls. For structure rating 20, I can see through.
Right, so you'll be able to see through one. So roll me a perception, please.
And I'm going to spend a point of edge on this.
Okie doke.
and this is visual. I want a refund on this dice rolling engine.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking you tonight. So, looking through on your radar sensor, you get the impression that there's not many people near the edges of the building, but as you're looking at the main entrance, there is one room. It's quite large to the right of the main entrance that seems to be quite big, and it seems to have quite a lot of people in it, sat in rows facing one end, with one person at that end facing the rest of the room.
Briefing room, noted.
Bullpen, I believe they call it.
How long are you doing this observation? Are you, like, watching the place for? Are you hanging out?
Probably not that long, because we will start to attract attention.
Yep, fair.
I mean, random, interestingly painted vans parking outside of cop shops is slightly suspect.
I mean, the Flowers by Irene vans are already inside, so yeah.
Does anyone else have any other rolls they wish to make while we're here?
I'm not risking sending a spirit in there, not with those two Bernie boys thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I can have a look. Do you guys want me to have a...
You could have a look at the host, not necessarily hacking it, but
Yeah.
see what it looks like.
Yep, give
That'd
me...
be an analyze.
It would, because this node is not hidden.
Okay. Submit. 3 hits on my analyze.
Okay, so with 3 hits, I'm going to say you get 3 questions about the host. So you can ask about the rating of an attribute. You could ask about icons that are on it. You could ask about how many nodes it has, that kind of thing.
Okay. Is security a attribute?
So the basic attributes of a host are essentially the same as a comlink: system, response, signal, and firewall.
Okay, so its defense would be firewall then.
So to crack into it, it's system. You're rolling against its system plus firewall.
Okay. In which case, I would like to know what the system and firewall ratings are for 2 of my questions.
Yep. So the system rating is 5. The firewall rating is 6.
Oof, that's pretty tough. Not unexpected, given it's a police precinct. And how many nodes are on there? Off the main one?
There's quite a lot of nodes running. So they seem to have different nodes for each of the different sort of areas of the precinct, like working areas. There's reception, dispatch, booking and lockup, operations, admin. There's one named courtroom, patrol. There's one named FBI liaison, evidence, training, garage, records, and data services. Data services seems to have a satellite uplink out.
Okay. That's interesting.
That'll be their link up to NYPD and KHQ, presumably.
Or to UCAS FBI.
The FBI liaison was one of the nodes, and I don't know, is a cop corp going to be talking to the FBI that much?
Give me a quick matrix knowledge roll, some sort of matrix related knowledge roll there, please, Sunshine.
Yeah. It's gonna have to be a computer roll.
Okay.
I should probably pick up some knowledge skills. I got 3 hits on my computer roll.
Yeah, I mean, nodes can exchange information all the time and you pass data packets through and things like that.
Yeah, so that doesn't seem particularly odd. Actually, Mav,
Shoot.
you kind of know some of this kind of dreck. Would you expect a backwater little cop station like this to have a satellite uplink?
Am I going to need to roll a knowledge skill again?
Yes, please.
1 hit. The dice continue to hate me.
All right, so with one hit, it's not unheard of, but it's a little unusual.
So that's not standard? That might be for this investigation. It might be for something else entirely.
I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world to set up, so just trying to think if there's any way we could use that to our advantage, but I don't think so. This place is also, like, the system and firewall here are pretty damn Nova.
Well, we know Lucas and Dean didn't want to do this as a Matrix run, so...
Yeah, so... what's that leave us as options? Social
Stealth.
Drone.
Presumably also stealth.
Different kind of stealth. Or, going full trench coat on the place.
Or we go loud.
Yeah, let's not do that. If we
Probably a bad plan.
Yeah, I like my life.
Do you though?
I like my cat. Has my contact got back to me yet?
What time is it? It's probably... You left the restaurant like 3 a.m. It's probably about 7 a.m. You get a bleary call of... Hello? You the girl with the blue hair?
Yep. Hey.
As comes on as a video call, and it's middle-aged guy, balding, little overweight, wearing a string vest, seems to be eating breakfast.
Hey, so you're still with NYPD Inc., right?
Well, yeah. I mean, guys gotta eat.
Sure. Would you be up for meeting? I've got a couple of things I wanted to ask you.
I mean,
I make the finger rubbing motion.
Just before you make the finger rubbing, the universal symbol of cash, he looks at you and says, "Look, if you want to report a..." Oh, yeah, we can meet.
Yeah, okay.
Where's good for you? I'd prefer it to be in Brooklyn, but
Yeah.
I mean, I do you want to pick the place, or would you prefer me to?
Whatever's easier for you.
Alright, well, I'd tell you what, if...
Not that bagging coffee shop. Never again.
Let's just say me and the manager don't see eye to eye. She's a heinous bitch.
Oh, yeah, try working for her, my god.
Yeah, I mean, frag me. You ask for where the sugar sachets are, you turn around, you knock over some milk, and you say sorry, you're trying to find a mop, and they scream at you. I mean, it's like...
Yeah.
I said sorry. I was offering to mop it. I'm not an ass, you know?
Yeah, but she is. My god.
I mean, that's doing a disservice to asses.
As in gluteus or as in donkeys?
You pick. I don't fracking care.
Anyway, yeah. Just text me where you want to meet a time. I'll be there. I'm up in the Bronx just now, so, like...
Oh, why would you go there?
Job.
Ugh. Alright, well, meet me here. He texts you. It's just like some tiny little greasy spoon in Brooklyn.
Okay, see you soon. Hang up the call. Okay. Oh my god, that espresso is thoroughly worn off now. My god. I need to go to Brooklyn, guys, and I desperately need some soy calf before I get there. Huggy, any chance of a lift?
Yeah, sure. I'm probably going to have to go back that way anyway to get back to the Staten Island.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, you could go through New Jersey.
We could. I could also saw my leg off and feed it to a shark. So that's something that is possible, and I think would probably be a little bit less painful.
Yeah, see, I'm also not Christian, so when I walk through the valley of death, I actually do fear evil.
I'm keeping that. Alright, so you've been texted the location of a greasy spoon in Hunters Point, Long Island City. It seems to be next to the rail yard. It's like a proper mom and pop, hole-in-the-wall style place.
Okay, yep.
It's like... It's not quite American diner. It's not that classy.
Yeah, it's the sort of place that actually serves grits on the menu.
Yeah, if it ain't deep fried, then I want to know.
How do you deep fry porridge? But they found a way.
Hey, we live in Scotland. We deep fry anything except Skittles.
Yeah.
Those are dangerous when you deep fry them, man.
Yeah.
We're all well aware.
Man bombs. So yeah, I go in, get myself another soy calf, and look around for Karl Pinckney.
Cool. So when you arrive, he's pretty obvious. He's sat there eating fairly large fried breakfast. Lots of soy bacon, powdered scrambled eggs. It's cheap, filling, and makes your arteries scream for mercy kind of food.
Yeah.
Can I say that I've gone in with sunshine, but I'm invisible?
I mean, you'd have to cast the spell, but if you want.
Yep, going for it. Cool. There is method to my madness. I got 3 hits and I rolled 5 to resist the drain.
Oh, that's where all our successes have been going. On your fragging drain rolls.
Yeah, so you are, to anybody who's mundane, which say pretty much everyone here, you're completely invisible as long as you don't, walk into a waitress or something. You walk in, he's sat eating his breakfast, sunshine. Are you just going over and sitting down?
Yep.
Cool. So when you do, he gives you a nod and says, waitress will be by with coffee in a minute.
Sure. I mean, I doubt it's coffee.
Well, soy calf. It's hot, wet, brown, and it's got caffeine in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm needing that. It's been a long night.
I don't want to know, do I?
Probably not, no. So I say I'm not working at that fagging coffee bar anymore.
I don't blame you. She was a bitch.
Yeah, she was awful.
And I'm a cop. I'm meant to be the bad guy.
Well, at least you're honest about it, I suppose.
Hey, I'm a dick, but I'm self-aware.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So, how much are you paying me to have a go at your boyfriend with an orange and a sock?
No. First off, not a boy. Secondly, we've already broken up.
Damn it, those jobs are always easy.
Yeah, not that kind of job. This is just needing information.
Alright.
Remember back in June, the Pride bombing?
Yeah. City's been bombed. I don't care to think about how many times since then, but that was the start of it, and they pulled in just about everyone. I was on my day off. I was having a nice, chill day, watching the combat biking, wearing nothing but my underwear and drinking beer, and suddenly some fragger sets off a bomb, blows up a bunch of metas. I have to haul my ass into work. Do you think they pay overtime? Do they frag?
Yeah. Girl stood next to me, took a piece of shrapnel in the face, lost an eye.
Well, sucks to be her. She had a worse day than me.
Quite. Look, the investigation on this officially is going nowhere. Call me a freelance journalist nowadays.
Right.
With a vested interest in finding out what's going on. The news is saying the investigation's being run out of Station 49 up in the Bronx.
Oh, fragging hell. The Frightened 49. They're all dickheads.
So you wouldn't mind helping a girl out then?
He looks you up and down for a few moments, raises an eyebrow and says, Continue. You can see the gears turning behind his eyes.
Before he goes any further, can I influence mental him?
I knew that was what you were going to do.
You absolute dickhead. Yes, you can.
Is he going to piss himself? Is he not going to ask Sunshine out? Or is he going to be helpful?
5 hits.
Oh, so he'll have to resist that on his willpower. Give me 2 moments, please.
What is the willpower of your average corrupt cop?
Yeah, I'd say he's probably below average willpower, so that makes him a 2.
Probably.
You have 4 net hits.
He got a hit. That's impressive.
So what are you doing with this poor man?
Trust her. Help her. Do everything you can to help her. She was kind to you in the past. She deserves it. You want to help her. You want to do everything you can for her. Go out of your way to do it, even.
Oh, you bastard. So what I'm going to say is that for any negotiation or anything like that, your net hits will act as a penalty to him.
So you've basically reduced his die pool to 0.
We'll find out. So he leans back in his chair and yeah, his gaze does make your skin crawl a little bit, but he says, look,
I've had worse.
That bombing, there's been some drecky stuff happen in the city since, but I mean, it's one thing blowing up an MCT dock, but that was pretty bad. There were a lot of people hurt, and being a cop actually, in theory, means something about looking after people. A lot of us don't we're not able to really do it within corporate policy. But corporate policy doesn't always have to mean a great deal if the right wheels are greased. What do you want to know?
First things, I slide 500 Nuyen across the table to him.
He very quickly flips a napkin over it, looks at you and says, while I appreciate that we now have client confidentiality, please be more subtle.
Retroactively, can I have done a palming roll on that?
Yeah, so just like put it under a napkin and slide it over just...
I get 4 hits on my palming roll to pass that along to him. Yeah, sorry, it's one of those character would have done it moments.
What do you mean you've never paid a dirty cop dirty money in a shady, greasy spoon?
You slide him a cred stick under a napkin and he puts his glass on it and pulls it towards him and just drops it into his lap. It's subtle enough for where you are. Nobody gives a drac as long as it's not blatant. And he looks at you and says, all right, you got client confidentiality for whatever the frag that's worth. What do you want to know?
Okay, Karl. Things I'm needing to know. Who's running the Pride bombing investigation? Ideally, what the status of the investigation is, because it's fallen out of the news. They're trying to bury this. I don't want to see that happen. Okay?
Yeah.
And I know you're pretty far down in the grand scheme of things. There's a limit to what you can get. This is joint with UCAS FBI, so you probably can't get access to the files, but is there any chance you could tell me what you've got on the 49th? Maybe a floor plan? No cops are gonna get hurt, okay?
Alright. Look, as long as nobody gets hurt and you don't make me regret this, yeah?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have a bad opinion of us, but not all of us are that bad, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not all 16th century plague rats were like that, and yet...
He turns around to check who says that, but he can't, he's looking directly at Toygo, but he can't actually see that he's there, if that makes sense.
Toygo, you're not making snarky comments out loud while invisible.
But apparently he is.
So give me a negotiation or an etiquette. You can use a street or police specialization, something like that, if you have it.
I'll go with negotiation. I'm also going to pre-edge this.
That's fine.
Yeah, I need this to go well. And he's on a -4 to resist this.
He is indeed.
Oh, come on, game! 2 hits.
So you have 1 net hit, but he glitched.
Yay!
So what I'm going to say is that you'll get a little bit more for your money with that. So he thinks for a few moments and says, 49th. The fighting 49th, they call themselves. Most of them, I mean, I should know a thing or two about this, but the only thing most of them have fought recently is a fried breakfast and a donut. Word on the street is a lot of the beat cops and the NYPD detectives have been pissier than usual there lately. They've been acting like they've got a pepper punch canister in their pants over something, you know?
Okay.
The investigation itself, all I know is it's some bigwig in the UCAS FBI that's running it. They don't tell me who, I ain't paid that much. Yeah, I mean, they're the fragging feds, man. You know you stepped in the dreck. Those bastards are up your hoop. They've not got as much power as they did before Ceratech, but those guys hunt Shadowrunners and people like them for a living. Even going near them makes my dreck itch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That investigation, look, there was a big show and a big hoo-ha over it for like a week afterwards. And then it's the usual story. They appointed a task force, the usual dreck, you know, they talking about their following leads and mentioned Alamos at one point, but it all dried up since then. There was some sort of, for some reason, they had us all investigating some stupid gunfight at a community centre.
Weird.
Yeah, there was some sort of shootout in a basement under a, I don't know, fragging stupid. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that sounds completely unconnected.
Snurk.
Gunfight happens at a community centre. We live in fragging New York. This dreck happens all the time.
I mean, the community centre bit's maybe a wee bit weird, but, like...
Depends on the area. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know a lot more, but I know that the FBI and the cops there don't get on, you know? I mean, I got a guy who works in the next precinct over, I'm friends with. We play poker occasionally. He was talking about how one of his friends over at the 49th was getting really shitty about some FBI guy had taken over his investigation, and it was jurisdictional crap. You don't care, but yeah, it's not exactly sunshine and rainbows there.
Okay.
Is Rainbows the name of your new girlfriend?
He has a moment where he just looks around in confusion for a few seconds and looks at his coffee the way that you'd look at a pint, and then looks around the room again and shrugs.
So I'm imagining Toyger's actually stood next to the table that we're sat at. And I am just sort of nonchalantly, I look like I'm stretching. I just put a leg out from it's like a booth we're sat at, and put a leg out. I just place my heel on the top of Toyger's foot and put just enough downwards pressure to make a point.
You get a ding in the group chat. Guys, I'm having way too much fun doing this. Never let me do it again.
Noted.
Is there anything else that you're asking him about?
Any chance you can do us a floor plan of 49th? Look, back of a napkin would do.
Tell you what, give me 300 and I'll be able to get you a proper one. I'll have to justify it. I'll have to put in a stupid job application or something that'll get rejected. I'll make sure it's a crap one, but I can get you.
Yeah, go on then.
And he'll have that for you in a day or two. As in fact, he goes onto his comm link and he pings it over to you.
Less than I was hoping for, but I got something.
You get a ping on your comm and he says, "Look, that's about all I can do for you for now. But if you want more, come see me. But I'll tell you right up, more risk, more money. You know how it goes."
Absolutely. All right, Karl, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your breakfast.
It actually has. Take care.
And you. I step up out of booths that we're in. Make a bit of a point of like putting most of my weight down onto Toyger's foot as I do so.
I was helping. You are so mean.
You were supposed to stay quiet.
I was staying quiet. You didn't bloody notice me. You're the one talking to thin air.
Thank you for spending some time with us and listening to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. In the meantime, the dirty cop, the Shadowrunner's perennial ally. Who's your favourite standard contact? Let us know on our Discord. Intro is More Human Than Human by Karl Cassey, and the background music is also by Karl Cassey. Outro music is Neon Thrills by Luck and all sound effects are credited in the show notes. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any other proprietary material for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Pride Against Prejudice podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. All other works mentioned in this podcast remain the property of their respective owners. The Pride Against Prejudice podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license, so if you want to use any part of the show, please give us the credit. See you next time, chummers.